Itu pengen sendiri ako. Seryoso. So, di ko wali nga nag-girlfriend sa Pilipinas.
With Kai, you hear a lot of the same messages over the years. Super skilled, a lot of talent, but some of the things we've been really focusing on, both offensively and defensively, is just lateral movement, explosion, quickness. Can he defend? How can he defend? Physicality, toughness, kind of the themes that you hear, as well as just making sure he's shooting the ball well. So I like to say in the pre-draft process during these workouts, there's really two things that are pretty basic that are going to give you an upper hand if you're prepared. And one of those is being in elite shape. So if you're in great shape, you're able to get up and down, you're able to play one-on-one and never get tired, do everything that the teams expect you to do and show no fatigue. That's really going to set you apart. And the other is if you're going to make shots, right? There's always going to be shooting drills. They always track everything. So if you're making shots, that's going to jump off the charts too.
And that's something that Kai definitely seems to have in his skill set, is the ability to hit that outside shot, the three-pointer, which, I mean, we're seeing more and more in the modern NBA where they're asking for bigs who can stretch the floor like that. But my big question coming into this, or at least one of them, was the lateral quickness, which you already mentioned. Can Kai keep up in that regard? Can he defend in space? Because we see the NBA has become such a pick and roll heavy league. You get bigs switched onto guards pretty consistently, unless you go into drop coverage or whatever it is that you're going to decide to do. How has the progress been there? When I was there, I saw Kai doing lateral slides with a rubber band, and somebody's holding on him and doing everything they can to make it more difficult. How's been the progress on that side of things?
I think he's gotten a lot better. I think being able to take the lens of having worked with him a few years back and seeing where he's at now, I can see progress. I think if you look at the micro level, from 2 weeks ago to today, it's harder to notice that progress. But overall, I would say he's making progress. But I also think one thing that's really helped him, and I can see in his growth, is that he's so long, right? He's 7'2", wingspan is really long, and so he used to not understand how to make up ground with his length. So if he gets beat laterally, he didn't understand how big he was and how stretching out could block a shot, contest a shot, change a shot. And now, not only is his lateral quickness improving, I feel like he understands his length and can go get a block and can go change and alter a shot and make that 3-point on a switch a little less comfortable for a guard. So he's starting to understand that too, which I think is a big part of being a better defender.
You mentioned that wingspan, and one of my takeaways from the open run was there were a number of alley-oop dunks. I mean, pretty vicious slams, and nobody in the gym really reacted like it was any big deal. They all kind of just, hey, this is something that we see every day. And that was my first indication that all of the guys playing here have played at a very high level and have seen this kind of stuff on a regular basis. If that was say a high school gym, everybody would have just been losing their minds if some of the dunks would drop there. But the one play that drew oohs and ahs, and he didn't even finish the play, he got fouled on it. Kai attacked from the baseline, and he put the ball in his right hand and just reached his arm out to keep it away from the defender. Just put it out and went and attacked. And he got fouled, so he didn't score on the play. He got to the free throw line. But that wingspan, how critical is that for his development, and how unique does that make him in terms of the players that you've seen? When he puts that ball out, I mean, nobody can touch him.
Yeah, no, it's like you think about Jabbar and the history of the game.
Yeah.
Like, guys find ways to score and create shots that you just can't block, right? It's make or miss, right? We're going to do the best we can, but we can't block it. And so I think also on that play, something that's really notable is as Kai stretches the floor, he caught that at the 3-point line. he's become a really good at shot fakes, right? So his shot fake is extremely effective. And so as he's making that three and you have to step out, he's really good making decisions with the ball and putting it on the floor downhill, one or two dribbles. And like you said, he's at the rim. Kind of another part of that is he's actually a really, really good finisher with his right hand. He's a lefty, but a lot of finishes go right hand. And so he's able to take off. He does a really good job of going off his left foot and stretching out with that right hand, like you said. And sometimes he's doing kind of the Euro slow steps using his body, which is kind of awkward. So he gets it off. But on that one, he just put it in, stretched it out, took off, right? So he has both options. And playing off that shot fake going downhill, he's I mean, it's really tough. Is he going to make it or miss it? We're doing what we can defensively.
I'm so glad that you mentioned his hand, that his right hand, because I wanted to ask you about this. I was talking with his dad, with Irvin, and we were talking about, being left-handed and the kind of advantages that can have. And through our discussion, it came out that Kai is actually right-handed, that he writes with his right hand. He just happens to play basketball left-handed. And of course, LeBron James is the same way, just the inverse. He's left-handed, but plays basketball with his right hand. Is that an advantage for Kai, that he tends to do things with his right? Like, does that make his offhand stronger compared to a typical player, or does that, or is there maybe no impact?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge when you think about bigs, right? So much of what they do historically, and even just in pick and roll play, right? They're playing around the rim. They're in the lane, right? Even those little short roll floaters. And to have the option to go with either hand is critical. It's huge, right? Like, you're not getting your shot blocked, by trying to shoot with your inside hand. And so I think that's really big for him. I think he's actually even going to have go-to moves on the block with his right hand, because he's just so comfortable either way. And like we said, he's good off his left foot as well. And so when you go off your left foot, it's natural to go right hand. So I think that's a big part of his upside. I think, like I said, I think one of his go-to moves will end up being a righty little kind of a quick floater, not really a hook, kind of an in-between shot. So I think it's a huge advantage.
One of the things that I talked to Kai about was the pressure that having an entire country. I mean, the Philippines are all very much behind Kai. The pressure of that, and he spoke very positively about it and loves it and all of that. What's been your takeaway from that? Just having that, all those hopes and everything on him. What have you seen in terms of his drive, his work ethic, and all of that, given the pressure that's on him?
Yeah, I think probably a few years ago it sat heavy on him, and you could feel it, you could see it. Like, he came to the States, he was young, like it was just, he felt it. I think, and I think now he's kind of, his mindset is like about developing and getting better. Honestly, like, I don't feel that same sense of pressure. Like, I think he knows as long as he does what he's supposed to do and continues to improve, he's going to get where he needs to be. And I think he's kind of found a way to not listen to everything, to value what he's in, the moment he's in, and the people that he's around, and care about the family, and know that he's doing all that he can. And so I think that maybe a little here and there feels the pressure, but I don't think it gets to him like it did when he was younger. But certainly a lot of pressure. I mean, to be the first at anything is unique and special, and the Philippines loves basketball. So there is pressure, but I think he's done a really good job of handling it.